I was like sweating.
I've met some weird people.
I never did, psychedelics, cannabis.
Because there's just been so many things that like I haven't been able to talk about.
So we went public on the venture exchange. A year after that, we uplisted the TSX.
Would that actually happen in reality?
A lot of people, when they leave their jobs, they write on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable talking about yourself.
I was never comfortable talking to myself in the beginning.
Anyone is going through burnout, I do suggest seeing a therapist.
It takes a certain person to like understand the things that I've personally gone through.
I don't want to work anymore.
That's a loaded question.
This doesn't constitute investment advice.
No. I'm very excited to announce today's guest, John Fong, to the podcast. John has had a very successful career in accounting and finance. He's had over 20 years of work experience in this field across 4 major industries: mining, tech, healthcare, and now in talent solutions. He's raised over 100 million in his career, and 2 of his major public wins were in the mining industry as well as the healthcare industry. So I'm super excited to chat with John today to pick his brain to understand how a CFO thinks about business and about life. Welcome.
Thanks. That's good. I haven't done that many of these podcasts, like 4 or so.
Yeah.
But whenever I hear these introductions, I do like a mini reflection and I go, okay, wow, that was like quite a lot. Like you don't realize that when you're on the journey.
Yeah, you definitely
don't. But when I hear about it like that, I go, okay, I guess that's not bad.
You really do have quite a bit of depth and breadth across your career.
Right. Yeah.
Like experience in both privately held and publicly traded companies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different for every CFO. Some CFOs, they go down one path and then they just do that one path. And that's that's just what works for them. And that's like, they see a lot of success that way as well.
Yes.
But you've kind of done a couple of different things, which I find really interesting because I'm that type of person too.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's just trying different things, just following curiosity.
Yeah.
And then see where it takes you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's start a little bit about just like your background quickly.
Sure.
So people understand. I know that you were born in Hong Kong.
Yep.
You came here at an early age.
Yep.
Grew up Asian with Asian parents, just like I did.
Yes.
So you kind of understand some of the things that happen when you are raised by Asian parents. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
We immigrated here in the early 70s. So that was a different time than now, obviously. A lot of things weren't very established for the Chinese community in Vancouver. Yes, I have 2 older brothers.
Okay, so you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yes, I'm the youngest.
I would have thought that you're the oldest for some reason. Yeah, based on like what you told me so far about yourself.
Well, that's good.
I'm an only child.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So I have a little bit of a only child syndrome.
Well, when we get to know each other more, you'll understand. Okay, so John is like more like a younger child than the older. But immigrated here in the late 70s. And just grew up in this time in Vancouver when it was still like a small city.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And then now, like, you can't imagine what Vancouver was like before.
Yeah.
But it was like, super quiet. It was more friendly, I find. And because the Chinese community was so small, I think we all helped each other.
Yeah.
Like no matter if you go to Chinatown, like everybody kind of knew everybody, and there's sort of pockets.
Yeah.
Which really helped.
My grandma was the type of like, she was at Chinatown like every single day.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, that was the only place to go to for Chinese.
She would play mahjong with all of her friends every single day. Like that was her hood. Like that's where she would go to like hang out.
And so grew up here and just saw like the change in Vancouver. And it's interesting to see it from where it was when I first came here, and then Expo 86 was like the big introduction to the world, and that kind of kick-started this whole big change in Vancouver. I'd never left anywhere to live anywhere else. I mean, I went to Western for school.
Oh, did you?
In London, Ontario for 2 years. But other than that, I always loved Vancouver. Like I traveled to a lot of different places, but I still find that Vancouver is still the best place.
Yeah. And your kids were born here?
Kids are born here. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And they love it here. They don't want to go anywhere else either.
It's got pros and cons. It's harder now for younger people for sure, like with the pricing.
That's probably true for anywhere in the world. I think it's just harder for the younger generation. I guess it depends what you want, right? If you want more metropolitan place, then Vancouver is not the place to be in.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the best place in the world.
I love Vancouver too. I mean, love and hate. Like there's a part of me that like wants to go like
So
somewhere else.
So what do you not like about Vancouver?
I don't know. Maybe it's just I've been here for a long time. People are kind of snooty here sometimes.
Okay, got it. Maybe because I don't, I sort of keep to my own circle. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Like a typical immigrant story.
Yeah. What kind of got you into accounting and finance? Was there something specific about it, or just kind of fell into it naturally?
This would probably be more of a typical Chinese Asian thing.
Yeah.
So when I was finishing high school, my dad said to me, okay, or both my parents said to me, your grades are probably not good enough to be a doctor or a lawyer, which is fine. Like I wasn't the best student. And so they said, you can either go into computer science or you can go into accounting.
Yeah.
And I thought, computer science, like back then, like I wasn't too crazy about it. So I thought, okay, I'll go into like accounting or business thing.
Yeah.
So when I went to Western, I did a degree in economics. When I came back, I didn't want to go into banking, so I did a two-year program, BCIT, their accounting or financial management program.
Yeah.
And then I just went into accounting because I have my brother's friend worked at a mining company.
Okay.
And he was looking at hiring someone for help.
Right.
I said, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. And you started your career off in mining.
Yes. Yeah, I did that. Joined a company called Pan American Silver. Right now they're like I think they're the largest silver producer in the world.
Yeah.
But back then they were just, just beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I know quite a few friends and stuff over the years that have worked on that audit.
Yeah.
Big Deloitte.
Yes.
Vancouver client, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a really great experience. Just, right off the gate, working with an up and coming company, public company.
Yep.
And I find that if you're in the accounting track, working for a public company, it helps you build that discipline on what good accounting should be.
Yes, because when you work for a public company, it has to be done a certain way, and you kind of get that training early on, which is really important.
Exactly. And then being able to be in office with everyone else. I think as a young person, like that helped tremendously because
I think so too. I mean, I started my career off in office too.
Yeah.
So it's long hours and grind in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that experience really does change.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's not just the work with your team, but I also got to and maybe it's just because the people there.
Yeah.
But I could, pop into the office of the president and the CEO and we'll just like talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Or like anyone else in the company. And that was just a great learning experience, like career and life.
Yeah.
As well.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know I think it benefits younger people for sure to go into office and especially when they're younger because especially as an accountant, because you have so many questions when you're a junior, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there's so many things that you don't know the answers to and the easiest and the fastest way to learn is just to be around other people and have someone to ask.
It is.
Someone directly.
But I guess nowadays, you hear that, companies want to do hybrid or whatnot. And companies force a lot of the younger, like the entry-level people to go in the office, but the senior people don't.
They don't want to go.
And that kind of sucks. That defeats the whole purpose.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I guess AI is going to change things as well in the workforce for people that are newer and entering.
After Pan American, I did a couple of other mining companies and then went into Rio Alto. So the one of the founders of Rio Alto used to be the CFO of Pan American Silver.
That happens a lot, I think.
Yeah, so he left Pan American and then a couple years
start his own thing.
Yeah, to start his own thing. And a couple years later, he asked me if I wanted to join him. There were two smaller junior mining companies which we started and sold, and then we started Rio Alto.
Okay.
And that was a great experience as well. Like, going from exploration stage. Yeah. We were trying to raise money in 2009. And then that's
during
when
the recession, the global recession?
Before the recession. And then the recession hit and that sort of just blew everything out of the water. Right. But we found a way to work with the seller of the property. And we continued on with the project. Within 3 years, we built open pit mine. First year of production, we generated $100 million in net income, which was like crazy to think about that. And I was there for about 5 years. That was a really great experience. At that time, I've spent probably about 15 years in the mining industry already. And it's a lot. It's a long time. And I thought to myself, what's the next stage of my career? I didn't want to be a CFO of a mining company because I didn't want to travel to all these like different mine sites and stuff. So I left the mining industry and just tried to figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then where did that take you afterwards?
I wanted to get into tech because around that time, it's 2013, 2014, a lot of interesting tech companies were starting up here in Vancouver. And I applied for a couple of jobs, but everyone wanted like tech experience, even for like a more senior accounting person, which I totally understand.
What kind of tech was it back then? Was it already like
It's
SaaS
SaaS.
companies?
Yeah.
Oh,
SaaS
already
companies.
back in 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A few SaaS companies. And then when I was interviewing, I was trying to meet people and just understand, what are they building, but more importantly from the accounting and finance, what's their pain point. And a lot of it is around like messy financials.
Yes.
Messy financials, and then how do they organize themselves so they can get ready for a raise? Very similar to like now, like nothing's really changed, right? So I thought, okay, if I can maybe become like a consultant for these companies to help them fix their accounting or whatever, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple of clients pretty quickly, like knock on wood, for I don't remember how I did that. That started my like tech track. Spent 5 years in the tech space.
Okay.
Working with different companies.
B2C, B2B, anything specific?
B2C. So there's this one company that I worked with called EventBase. So they're a company that builds an event app for companies that run events. So one of their clients are South by Southwest. So if you go to those type of conferences and you use their app, that's what they build.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did some work with them for about 9 months. And another company that I eventually landed full-time role with was Invoke. So Invoke Digital main claim to fame was Hootsuite, the social media company, spun out of Invoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ryan Holmes, David Tedman, Mario Deli, they started that agency. And just as they were spinning out Hootsuite, they were trying to sort of consolidate a couple of things within Invoke, and they needed some accounting and finance help. So I got connected with them, worked with them, and then joined them full-time probably like 6 months or a year after that. Yeah. And I spent like 3 years after that.
Yeah. I mean, mining is very different from SaaS. Just in terms of like personalities, like mining is a little bit more like, I don't know, it's more like old school. Like it's very professional, old school. Like even the offices are kind of like a certain way.
Yes.
Whereas tech is, a little bit more hip. People are cooler. More startup culture.
For sure. Yeah. And that was like a really big difference that I saw. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. In tech, people were younger. I think they were just more fun. At the same time, there's not that much difference. Like in terms of accounting wise. Yeah. At the end of the day, like every company just wants to make money. You just have to figure out like how they make money.
Yeah. Accountants kind of see all businesses as not the same, but they're kind of the same. Yeah. Because we see things in terms of numbers and income statements and balance sheets. So for in that aspect, we see businesses as the same.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, tech was fun. Like I would say my time at Invoke was probably like the I was probably say the most fun I've had in my career.
Really?
Yeah. The people there were great. The leadership team there. I mean, some of them moved on after Invoke while I was still there, but there was probably like a core time of about 1.5 years or 2 years that the leadership team just really like gelled in terms of like everyone was a domain expert in their own lane, whether it's marketing, design, strategy, finance, HR, and and we just kind of just clicked really well. And even now, like we're really good friends. We meet up every 4 months just to catch up on things, and we've been doing that for about 7-8 years now.
Do people still work at Invoke, or
one of them still work at Invoke?
So they're still around.
Everyone else sort of just left and went their own paths.
Cool. No, it's awesome when there's a management team that does click, and I mean obviously that is a big part of success in business when
for sure
the leadership team is aligned on the same page and.
Yeah, and I would say sometimes it's luck, sometimes you force it, but I think I was pretty lucky. Yeah, I was pretty lucky. Just again, it's just these really foundational, like fundamental things. You just treat people well, going with an open mind, no ego. Yeah, and just if it's outside of your domain expert, just stay in your lane.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So after your tech experience, what was next for you?
So what was next? So I was a fractional CFO at an organization called BC Tech Association.
Okay.
And through there, I got connected with someone called Payton. He was the founder of Numinus. And at that time, he was looking for some like CFO advisory help. Numinus was a company, or is still a company, but at the time it was a company focused on psychedelic therapies. Now, being Chinese and like a good Chinese boy, I never did psychedelics, cannabis, smoking, all that stuff. So when I was introduced to Payton, I thought, oh, okay, that was I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But as I got to know him and understand his own personal journey and his personal why, and it's mainly around his personal healing and how psychedelics pretty much saved his life and what he wanted to take that and bring it into others that were suffering the same way that he was. So I thought that was like a really interesting opportunity, not only like less about like the accounting and finance stuff, and just like an interesting person that I wanted to get to know.
What was his background?
He actually has background in the capital markets space.
Okay.
And yeah, so he left his capital markets job and to start like a psychedelics company. So I thought, okay, that's a really compelling story for me, at least.
Yeah.
So I started out as an advisory at first, and then
what was the state of the company at the time when you joined him?
So he was bootstrapping it.
Yes.
They had just acquired a clinic in Vancouver.
Okay.
And they were looking to do a little bit more, maybe raise a little money, and then try to expand that clinic.
Yeah.
But at that time, that was around 2019 or so. When you talk about waves of opportunity that come for a certain industry, I think at that time, the wave for psychedelics was coming up.
Around what year was this?
This was around 2019.
Okay, because the cannabis wave was in like 2017, 2018, 2019, around the same time.
Yeah, so around that time, I think the cannabis wave was kind of like
a little dying down.
A little bit. And there was like a lot of like different press around cannabis space. But still, I think a lot of people saw that with psychedelics, some people thought maybe it was cannabis 2.0, like similar type of opportunity.
I see.
And then so they thought that, okay, let's pour money into this. So
were they all Vancouver based?
There were other companies like one in Toronto, a couple in the States and so forth.
In the States.
Yeah.
But like Canadian offices or?
No, I think they were just like US
companies.
people, US companies, all doing different things within the psychedelic space. Some were clinic operators like us. Some were more on the research side.
Yeah.
But there was just this wave of opportunity.
Yep.
And so, we caught the wave right on time. So, I joined them full time in January 2020. And then COVID hit.
Yes, so it was right before COVID.
We had to close down our
2 months in.
We had to close down our clinic, but around that time, the machine was running for an opportunity for us to go public.
I'm just super curious. Like, how did COVID impact the availability of capital?
Actually,
to raise money.
I think for us, it didn't impact us too much. Just because I think a lot of Payton's connections within the capital market space really believed in what we were trying to build. Mm-hmm. We weren't thinking it as cannabis 2.0. We were thinking it as an opportunity for us to bring healing to others.
I see.
And around that time, the awareness around mental health was really in the space. And especially when we talked about COVID and how that was impacting people, we just caught a good wave of that. So how did it impact us going public? I think it just made it harder because we were all isolated.
Yeah.
We couldn't really meet in person.
Most businesses were negatively impacted by COVID, right?
Yeah. So for us, our clinic business was definitely impacted. We had to shut down the clinic. We couldn't generate income or anything. I wasn't getting a paid salary. Like no one was getting paid a salary. But we knew that if we went public, that would unlock this fundraising. So we just sprinted toward fundraising and closing the IPO or RTO. And then we went public in May 2020.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it really
so 5
was
months.
during COVID, like the
It was
midst of
pretty
COVID.
much, pretty much during COVID. Yeah,
Crazy
and that was
experience. I mean, yeah, I just like
It
thinking
is.
back when I think about COVID, everyone, almost like all businesses were like going
Yes.
going down in that time.
We were very fortunate.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate. And from there, we never looked back. I think over the next 3 years, 4 years, we raised a total, like you said, $100 million. We acquired a clinic in Montreal and then Toronto. And then we acquired another public psychedelics company,
Okay.
one of our competitors that had 11 clinics and a research service in Utah. So that really kicked off our US expansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was
Growth by
crazy
acquisition.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. Yeah, growth by acquisition. And when you look at, all the headlines that like a CFO's, experience would be, like within 4 years, I checked off like quite a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely very, very fortunate for that.
Yeah. So initially when you guys went public, you were on the venture.
Yeah,
TSX
so we went public on the venture exchange, and then a year after that, we uplisted the TSX. And there's a lot of different requirements.
Yes.
And so
And not every company that wants to get onto the TSX can. So
yeah, and I think we thought that going on the TSX would give us it's kind of like the next stage of ultimately we wanted to go public in the U.S. markets because that's where the capital was. So we were thinking that uplist to the TSX, and then a couple of years later we would go on the NASDAQ or something, and then become like a really big public company.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the plan.
that was the plan?
Yeah, that was the plan. It never really materialized. Like on the Nasdaq side of things, at least, I think there was just a lot of requirements that it would have been a stretch for the company to meet.
I think there are some are there legalities as well? No, 'cause
There's
I know
that.
in cannabis there is.
Yeah,
too,
so there's that as well. But I think for us, we weren't delivering non-regulated psychedelics.
Right. It was because it's a service.
Yeah, it was just service-based companies. So the only psychedelics that we could administer is ketamine-related services. But at that time, there was a lot of push in the U.S. to regulate psychedelics. So around that time, there were different states that were regulating things, but from a federal level, that wasn't done yet. And we were waiting. There was a big movement to try to get that done, and it never got done. So I think once that happened, then you sort of saw the opportunity in the psychedelics industry just go down. Yeah.
I'm super curious. I mean, you guys raised within 4 years a lot of money and a lot of these acquisitions, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot in a very short amount of time, and it's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Right on you to get all of this stuff done. So how quickly were you guys were you guys hiring constantly? Like, what's that process like as an operator?
Yeah, I mean that's tough because yes, you want to hire quickly, but then also you have limited funds to do all that.
Right.
It's like, so for me, from the accounting and finance side, I think we had a pretty lean accounting team, but you just try to hire really, really good people.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate that I had a really good team that could allow me to go public. So when we went public, I was the only accounting person. So starting with one,
that's a lot of work.
went public
because you have to do all of the audit side, the raising money side,
all that,
the legal stuff,
So pretty much a one person accounting team that went public. So that's a lot. Yeah, that was a lot.
That's a lot. That's like a 3-person job. Like two more
so.
Yeah, you have 2 or 3 people in accounting doing that.
Yeah, and then so once we went public and that unlocked our fundraising money, then I hired a controller and built the team and so forth. Yeah, and then when we uplisted, then I had like a solid team to do all that. It wasn't fun at all.
Long days, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean 12, 13-hour days, 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
For 3-4 years. And you're not just doing, I guess from the CFO seat, you're not just looking at accounting and finance.
Yeah, you have to.
It's everything.
So you guys are still talking to investors and
that
stuff, figuring out how
talking to investors, working with IR to get the news out to our shareholders and all that. From the operations side, working with our COO, making sure that our clinics are are at least, trying to move towards profitability, making sure that the research side, we're focused on the right projects that can help us. So yeah, it was just a lot of everything.
R&D. I'm super curious. Like you had the R&D side of the company, and then also the services, professional services side.
Yeah.
Did you guys have to apply for a Health Canada license on the R&D side?
Yeah. So on the R&D side, we actually had a laboratory in Nanaimo, which already had a Health Canada license that allowed us to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, because I know that process of getting licensed by Health Canada can take a couple of years, and there's a lot of hurdles, regulatory hurdles.
We actually got a leg up because we acquired this lab that had a Health Canada license. So that helped us with research. And the thing that we learned is that you can't do research on product that you eventually use, because that's sort of conflict of interest, so to speak, right? So, but we were doing research to see, what can we do within the psychedelic compounds for future use.
Did you guys have to apply for a patent to protect what you guys were doing on the research side?
We didn't get that far for patent application yet, but it was just more research and development. More research things. On the service delivery side, which is the bulk of our business. Yeah, it was interesting just to learn about different legal requirements and medical requirements, whether it's in Montreal or Ontario, BC, in Utah, and just what we can and can't do. Yeah. It was just very different, and just try to bring all that together. Was a big lift on our operations side, and also on our chief medical officer and the medical team.
So in an industry that's quite heavily regulated, and then also have to deal with like public company, the sort of traditional compliance work of a public company, like filings and stuff like that. And then also the operations, like how did you balance all of that? Because obviously the company's goal was healthcare, right? Is to help people feel better and be better. And live more,
Yeah, and I mean, looking, it's a tough balance, because you have these kind of two opposing forces.
Yes,
you have the public company side with shareholders and investors that obviously believe in your mission, but ultimately they want to see a return on their investment. And then you have the therapy side, which is trying to save humanity, so to speak, but maybe not necessarily aligned in the profit side of capital markets.
Right.
So trying to balance these two forces was always like a daily balance.
A daily balance
of education, sharing information, being as transparent as we can in what we're trying to build, and how capital is needed to build what we need to build.
On a day-to-day basis with like your patients and stuff like that. Right?
Less so with patients, but just more with our teams,
with the teams.
Of therapists and medical professionals.
I see. The capital market side, it's like investors want to see a return on their money. Shareholders care about short-term profitability because they want to see the stock price go up, right?
Yeah. Or at least some momentum towards profitability. On the operations side is, what can we do to do best for the client, to serve the client, which is obviously always the case. But how do you build a good business model in a clinic type environment? And that was the thing that we were trying to unlock there. Yeah.
Speaking of all this public company and stock market talk, I want to spend a minute to talk about Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is one of the world's largest investment communities, and I've personally used it for many years now for my own stock research. They are a platform with over 20 million active users that provides their users with exclusive content, user-generated content on what they think is the best stock picks and analysis today. They do have a Black Friday special right now for Alpha Picks as well as their premium subscription, so I will leave the links down below if you are interested. So you talked about, these 12, 13-hour days that you had to work while you were doing all this like public company this public company work, rapidly growing and scaling Numinus, which inevitably led to a little bit of burnout.
Yes.
Because a person can only work 12 to 13-hour days for so long and be under all this pressure, and it's not sustainable for people to do this forever. I was trying to explain this to like my mom and my parents that like you can't do something like that forever. So.
Yes. I was burnt out at the end of it. And those 4 intense, years, I said earlier that from a career-wise, it was great. You check a lot of the CFO headlines, but on the personal side, there was a lot of things going on. So 2020, there was, or maybe even 2019. Yeah. So 2019, my dog passed away, and it was our first dog, and I love dogs, and we had him for 11 and a half years, and he passed away on January 1st, 2020, and it was a total surprise. And that was really devastating for us.
Oh, I know it's hard with pets. My dog, she had a bit of an incident a couple of weeks ago where she had a stomach ache.
Yeah.
She started whimpering in the middle of the night. So we took her to the emergency, and it was like this whole thing. And they're like, well, we're going to do exploratory surgery on your dog, and it's going to be $8,000.
Yeah.
It was like multiple stages, and we paid for a little bit in the beginning, and then we were just like, oh, let's just let her pass it. And we just took the risk and let her pass it because we know she eats. She eats stuff everywhere. She ended up being okay.
Oh, good. But that was a traumatic experience. Like he seemed fine the day before, and then on New Year's Day, he just didn't have a lot of energies, and we took him to a vet that just happened to be open, and they did some X-rays, and they said, "Oh, he has cancer, and he's not going to make it."
Oh.
So that was tough. And then from that point on, it was COVID. Just trying to balance family life and work during COVID. Having the kids at home. Having the kids at home were great, but also it was tough to sort of keep them busy.
I can imagine.
While
we get very busy even on like long weekends.
So trying to do that while we were trying to go public. And
your kids were younger back then.
Yeah, the kids were younger then. My kids are older now. They're like 16 and 11.
Yeah.
The year after that, 2021, my mom passed away after a 2-year battle with cancer. That was tough. But I guess it was a slow deterioration. So we were kind of prepared for when she passed, but it was still tough to see her pass. The year after that, my dad passed away. I think that was more tough because for me, it felt like it was the end of like a family line. When you look at a family tree, you see all these branches and stuff. And that was the end of that. And I think that point, a lot of questions came in my mind about identity. I don't have anyone to call a mom and dad anymore. I'm not anyone's son anymore. And at that point, we were 3 years in Numinus, and I was thinking, geez, this is a lot. What am I doing?
It all kind of comes down.
Yeah, it all comes down. And when you talk about burnout, it's not just doing a lot of work.
No, it's not just I work 12 hours a day. I'm tired. Yeah, it's like all these other things.
It's all these things that come together. And I guess for me, at least, I can only speak from my personal experience. There was this, and I turned 50 around that time as well. So there's all this question of what am I doing with my life? Yeah. That kind of just sparked this journey for me on like rediscovering myself. Like, what does it mean to be me at this point in my life? And am I making the best use of my time? And then so a year after that, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that kind of just like threw everything out the door. And I think it just made me question even more about who I am and what I need to be. So I made the tough choice. I left Numinus. I didn't know what I wanted to do. The only thing that I knew that I needed to do was to take care of my family. And that was the first time in my life, in a long time, that I had like a singular focus. It was like, I didn't have to worry about work. I didn't have to worry about my parents. It was just making sure my wife got through her treatment and making sure that my kids are taken care of in light of seeing their mom in the state that she is. Yeah.
How many people have to go through such life-changing events in such a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot on a person's nervous system, I can imagine.
Yeah. So which is why if anyone is going through burnout, I do suggest seeing a therapist. I had an amazing therapist that took me through this journey of self-discovery and self-healing. And it's not just about time management, but it's just really going deep into who you are as a person and what all these experiences over the past 50 years led you to this point. And, sometimes things that you feel it is kind of in the back of your mind, but doesn't it affect you? It does to some degree.
It does on a subconscious level.
Yeah.
You don't realize it until kind of all...
Until shit hits the fan and it all comes together.
Much. Everything, until something happens and then all these things that you've kind of pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Come to surface, I guess.
Yeah. So that really helped. Doing psychedelics helps. In the sense that it really opens your mind and it detaches you from seeing the things that you need to deal with from a non-personal, like third party type view. It's hard to explain.
Right.
But for me, at least, that's how I saw it. I saw it as, something that, like I didn't have any like big traumas or anything, but it just helped me compartmentalize and make sense of things that I had questions about. Yeah.
It's very eloquently put.
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to process, all the things that you went through.
It is. Yeah. It is. But I would say I'm definitely much better for it now.
Your wife is better now?
Yes. She's thanks. She's better. She's on her way to recovery. And the kids are great.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. It's
they get to spend a lot of time with mom now, or?
Yeah. I would say things are just better.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm a mom myself, right?
Yeah.
So my whole, just like how I see the world and life has changed a lot ever since having a kid. I mean, back before when we didn't have kids, it's just me, right?
Yeah.
I'm an only child too, so it's even more me. My husband kind of lets me take the spotlight.
He
lets me take the spotlight. And sometimes I don't know, this is just myself, but that guilt that you get, right? It's like, I gotta work. But I also got to be around for my kid because he's still really young and these are his really important years of his life. But I'm still kind of going through a process of trying to rebuild my own career as well and trying to refigure things out too, which has been a journey for me.
Yeah.
So balancing that has been a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I would say everything has trade-offs.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you wanted to spend more time with your kids, then you trade off, the what if. Like, what if I wanted to build my career or focus on something else? I mean, for me, the trade-off of working at Numinus and devoting all that time and energy into work was I didn't see my kids as much. And, could my relationship have been better if I didn't work as long and spent more time with the kids? Absolutely. Like that's not a question. Like the more quality time you spend with anybody, the better your relationship will be.
Yeah, but they also at the same time, in my opinion, if my son gets to see that I'm working and I set goals and work and I work hard and achieve them, I think that's also a good thing that you get to show them as well. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you set goals, you work hard, you can pretty much be and have whatever you want in life.
But I would say to that, when they're young, they don't care about that. All they want to do is that I want mom and dad with me and play with me all the time. And it's only later in life when they're older and you tell them about these things, then they kind of realize that, okay, I do understand why dad wasn't around as much. But when they're young, all they want to do is just to see you around.
Yeah, I was very attached to my mom when I was a kid. I would cry when she didn't come home at the time that she said she would come home at.
Yeah.
So,
but then if I hadn't spent all that time working at Numinus or working and getting all those experiences that I've had, I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have been able to start my fractional CFO business, which we can talk about later.
Yeah.
And now, working at a great company called Booth, like I wouldn't have had those experiences to do that. So, if I did spend more time with the kids, maybe I would have had maybe a less stressful career, but maybe not as, I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I do now. Yeah.
Parenting question.
Yeah.
Would you encourage your kids to go into accounting finance as well? Or what would what's like the,
no,
what's the thought process there? No?
No, and again, we can talk about this when we talk about AI and stuff and all that. I mean, accounting finance is, look, I enjoy it, but it doesn't mean that I want my kids to go down that path as well. I think and I think generations are different. For my parents, they knew the safe careers, accounting or engineering or computer science. Like those are like safe things. And for me, there really is no safe career anymore.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
Whether you talk about AI or whatnot, there really is no like job for life.
Yep. No, it's true. I mean, even if you do stick to something, you can always kind of change and pivot too. Like people change careers as well. So.
Yeah. And I think for me, just taking my own experience is that, I didn't stay in one company for all my life.
Yeah.
And I think, I just believe that things will be okay. Things will work out. If you do, like I said, like the really basic things, like, do good work, treat people well, and like you'll land on your feet somewhere. And for my kids now, I'll just tell them, I'll be supportive no matter what they do, no matter what path they choose. Like my son's interested in, a couple of years ago, he talked about marine biology. So,
cool.
Great. I think that's pretty cool. There's a lot of opportunities within marine biology.
You can be successful in any industry.
Yeah, you can be successful in anything. Yeah, so it just really depends on how you define success.
Yep. Kevin and I want our son to go into investment banking.
Did you get him like a toy cash register?
No, he likes Peppa Pig.
I got it. Yeah.
He's still he likes Peppa Pig. He likes what's the other one? Pete the cat.
Yeah.
It's just the baby stuff. He's like baby stuff. He loves cars. He loves dinosaurs.
Yes.
Dinosaurs are his new favorite thing.
Yes. Yeah.
He calls Yoshi, like Mario Kart Yoshi, like dinosaur. He's like green dinosaur.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And we bought him a dinosaur costume for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And he loves it. Like he doesn't even want to take it off.
Yeah.
So that's next week. So
that's right. That's right. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. I think my long-term goal is like venture capital, like private equity.
Okay.
Long-term goal.
Yeah. I left Numinus when I was like 48, and I had a mortgage to pay, and I had like a family to feed, and I had bills to pay. And I had some money saved up, but like, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked out. Like, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy to make that transition between like working full time to like going out doing on your own thing. Even with fractional CFO work, it's different. You have to think, everything you have to think for yourself and figure out how to do yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's all these things you have to learn how to like sell yourself.
Yes.
To storytell, to kind of promote yourself, because we've talked about this. Like fractional CFOs there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so funny. It's kind of like that idea, like you buy a car and you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So you start thinking about like fractional CFO and you go on like, you're like, everyone is a fractional CFO. Like everyone can call themselves a fractional CFO. And you go on their websites and you're like, they all look the same.
Yeah. So
it's like you buy a car and you see it everywhere, but it is kind of a little bit like that.
Yeah. I remember when I was thinking about starting my own fractional business, I did some competitive analysis. So I just went online and I searched out some fractional CFO websites.
Yep.
And like you said, they are all very similar. Yep. It's like it sounded like they were just listing accounting services,
bookkeeping.
Yeah. And then they'll have like a little blurb about fractional CFO is strategic. I don't know what it is, right? And I thought, okay, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
And like you said, you have to learn how to sell. So it's just really understanding, going through that exercise of who's your ideal client.
Yep.
And then, what are the pain points that they need to be solved, and how can you solve that? And be very specific about that.
Yeah.
Because if you are a generalist and you try to cater to everybody, then you really cater to nobody.
Yeah.
Because no one really knows
it is
what
hard.
you actually do. People think that if you try to niche down on something, you're limiting your opportunity, which is
I think that's
true.
the dilemma that almost every entrepreneur business owner
It
has.
is,
It's like,
yeah.
how niche do I go? If I go super niche, then
Yeah.
I'm losing out on business in other areas. Like
Yeah.
I've talked to other accounting firm owners that kind of have the same. We don't want to like show that we only do one thing.
Yeah.
Because, as accountants, we could technically do it all, especially have kind of a diverse background, right?
But I mean, also for me, I don't want to do. I don't want to do it all. I don't want to do it all. And there was just like a certain thing that I wanted to do, and I focused on that. And it just takes one client. Once you get the one, then everything else is easier. I think. Yeah. And it just so happened that when I launched my fractional business, my first client, I ended up joining them full time.
Oh, Booth.
Booth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was
Was
really
that through a network?
It was through someone that I know. His name is Antonio, and he's an amazing person. He's just like a super connector within the city here.
Yeah.
And when I launched my fractional business, like a lot of people, I just posted on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then Antonio just reached out to me and said, "Hey, I know somebody that's looking for help. You wanna intro?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
Nice.
And then from there, I worked with, I got connected with Jamie and Carmen, husband and wife. And again, like a new industry, like talent outsourcing, other talent solutions. I've never been in that space before. For me, it's always about the people. And Jamie and Carmen were like amazing people, like even in the first call. So I took them on as a client and just learn about the business and everything. And then earlier this year, I joined them full time.
Nice.
And now I'm building a company, basically like trying to find great talent.
Nice.
Yeah. Everybody sort of romanticizes fractional work as in, you get to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Right. Which is true. Like you get to do your own thing.
Yeah. I have some the things that hold me back about fractional CFO work for sure.
Yes. You can definitely do your own thing, being your own boss, setting your own hours, whatever, right? All that's great. But you need to love to sell.
Yeah. And the thing that is, for me, is like, it's not super scalable in any way. Like it is kind of like you take on 3 clients, now you kind of have 3 jobs.
Yeah. So so it really depends. Like, what do you mean by scale, right? So scale means that you want to grow bigger. Yeah. And for a fractional CFO, if that means bigger, that means you have to hire staff. And then you're sort of building out an accounting firm, which I'd never wanted to do.
Yeah, it's just not like a productized service, because it's like once you sell anything B2B and you work with bigger and bigger companies that have more and more complex problems.
Yes.
It's just very hard to give them like a one size solution that you could just hire someone to do. It just requires a lot more brain power and people.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes. But I think now, if you're a fractional CFO, I think now is a great time to be in this space, because when you take on more clients, you're learning about more problems.
Yep.
And while different companies have different unique problems, they're kind of like generally the same.
Yeah.
And why I say now is a great time is that you can use AI or build AI solutions for certain specific things.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's where you can look at productizing certain functions, whether it's like an AI agent for invoice intake or the whole procurement part of it.
Yeah.
If you can build an AI agent that does FP&A work.
Yes.
Like that's something that you can productize.
Yes.
So when you're as a fractional CFO,
that's a big opportunity actually.
That's a big opportunity that you can pull out these agents and say, hey, I have an agent that can do this.
Yeah, because I don't want to sit here and do debits and credits. Like,
Yeah.
that's not,
Look, you still
that's not the goal of doing fractional CFO work.
Yeah, look, as AI is not the be all end all.
Yeah.
Right. It is not the silver bullet, magic bullet that can solve a lot of problems. You still need the human.
You still need the human. It still makes mistakes.
It still makes mistakes. You still need the human there. But from a fractional CFO perspective, I'm not doing the work. I'm just kind of reviewing the work. So if I can scale, like if I were still a fractional CFO, like I could scale to a point. But again, it really depends what you want. Like, I would rather have a sustainable business than a growth business.
Right. Because the growth business basically just turns into a firm.
Yeah.
For a fractional CFO.
Yeah. Whereas a sustainable business is that, I would have 3 or 4 clients and they churn every few years. And that's healthy.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of fractional people, that they hold on to this one client as long as they can. And they'll try to squeeze it as long as they can.
Yeah.
And the reason why they would do that, and I'm just sort of guessing here, is that they hate selling. And they just want to do the work.
Yeah. It's not that hard. The sales side. I don't know. I mean, I think I have a natural knack for it too.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it because I enjoy talking to people.
Yeah.
And understanding what the problems are.
Exactly.
and how I can help to
half of it is
solve
just
it.
listening and making people feel understood.
It is.
And then, there's some lines that you can say to help you close, like a little bit of, learning how to create urgency, like how to handle objections, just stuff like that. But like, it's not, half of it is just listening to people.
It
because
is.
people buy when they feel understood.
But then if you're an accountant,
I guess I'm not a typical accountant.
If you're a typical accountant and you're never client facing, and
never client facing. Okay.
Yeah, if you're never client facing.
Yes.
Right. Or if you've never had to fundraise, or if you've never had to talk with
post on social media.
Yeah. Or if you've never had to talk to like shareholders or customers, and you're always in your own little safe accounting world, it's daunting. It can be daunting.
I guess so.
So that's why there are companies or agencies out there that call themselves like fractional CFO agencies, and they'll be the ones that sell. And then you just do the work, but you're giving up, 35-40%.
I used to do marketing services for fractional CFOs. It's so funny. Like when I left accounting, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't like accounting.
Yeah.
I see myself different than all these people, which is not true. It's not true.
It's true.
But then over these past few years, I've ended up becoming friends with a whole bunch of them. And now it's like we're reconnecting in different ways.
Yeah.
Not in the traditional sense of, like day-to-day accounting.
I hate day-to-day accounting.
Day-to-day accounting is the worst. Yeah, no, like a lot of it's sales. Like a lot of it is just talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having that client-facing experience definitely helps.
Yeah. So what are some tips can you give for fractional CFOs to sell?
It's a lot of it's just understanding your client. Clients want to feel like you understand their industry really well, even if you feel like I can serve any industry. If a client's like coming from the restaurant industry, they want to know that you are an expert at the restaurant industry. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
they want to feel like you're really special or you know what I mean, like really well versed in the restaurant industry, even though for accountants it all is the same thing. But your client doesn't know that. Right. Because your client doesn't have an accounting background. Right. So just being able to like speak using the language that they use and understanding their industry really well, I think helps in the sales process. I don't consider myself a sales expert, but
I mean, one thing I learned was that you have to be comfortable talking about yourself.
Yeah.
And
I was never comfortable talking to myself in the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you want to build a social media following, that's something that you have to get over. That's something that I've had to learn for myself. Is that even though I don't love talking, in the beginning I did not like to talk about myself. I'm more open now, and the cameras and stuff, I have no problem with it. But like it's something that's taken me 2 or 3 years. And so now I have no problem talking about myself and just being an open book. Yeah. But in the beginning, I was definitely more, like I was scared to even talk about money, like personal finance. Because I was like, that's not like politically correct, right? To talk about like money and stuff on camera. So it's taken me quite a bit of time. Reps. Reps to be able to storytell effectively. And I guess my job is to get views and stuff on social media. So
Yeah.
there's just certain things that I have to do and say, right? It's a little different than what it was before, but
yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on, what you talk about. I mean, when I say talk about yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to, share your feelings to a potential client or anything. But it's just being comfortable talking about your experiences. It's pretty much your experiences.
yeah.
And
Because that's how people connect with each other on social media. When you talk about your life and your experiences.
Yeah. I remember when I left Numinus, like a lot of people, when they leave their jobs, they write on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I wrote this post on LinkedIn, and then I had likes and all that. But then also at the time, I felt that going through all those things that we just talked about, like raising money, all that, and then burnout and so forth, I felt like there was something I wanted to share.
Yeah.
So after that post, I thought, okay, I'll write again next week, and then we'll see what happens. And then so I wrote something, and then it seemed like people were interested.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna try writing once a week.
Yeah.
About things. Like I didn't write about like finance things because I just didn't want to. But it's just more like when you mentioned, when you asked me earlier off camera, do I know the podcast, like the Diary of a CEO?
Yeah.
And in those podcasts, it's great because they're not talking about the life of a CEO. Is a lot of things behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
they have a personal life too and top of work. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just talked a lot about like behind the scenes things, and it seemed like that garnered a lot of interest, and I did that for about 6 months. And when it was time to launch my fractional CFO business, I just, again, like everyone, like a lot of people do, I just wrote it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And what was great was that I already had this built-in audience from writing for 6 months for like once a week. And I got like, when I did that, I had so many people reach out to me, like Antonio and others, for referrals, introductions, and all that.
Interesting.
So like, I guess my tip for like anyone that's even thinking about being a fractional CFO is like just start doing something. Like writing on LinkedIn is like the easiest thing.
The writing on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you never know what's
I know all these like different writing on LinkedIn for sure.
Yeah.
I know all these different like random lead generation techniques now. With online, like YouTube. YouTube is big.
Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube is like, it would be my strategy would just be like, go post like 50 YouTube videos to get started.
Right.
And then,
but again, like a lot of CFO people are not camera. A lot of CFOs are camera shy.
I was camera shy too.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just kept putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I'm just more natural because I've just been doing it for 2-3 years now. That's the only
that's true.
reason. The only reason why I am is because I've done it. Like I've put in the reps to do it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of business people that have like business backgrounds are like, I'm not an influencer, because that's
right.
Yeah. Everyone kind of has, like, I know people with business backgrounds feel,
Yeah.
I got to promote myself. I got to dance on camera. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird.
It is. I remember my first earnings call. As a public company in Numinus. It wasn't on camera or anything. It was just audio because COVID.
Those are pretty rigidly
and I had a script,
structured. Yes.
But still I was like sweating because I was thinking, geez, what if I said the wrong thing or whatnot? But as you
that's important too. Like every word you say is important.
Yes.
Like you can't mess that up.
But like you said, if you put in the reps, every quarter is the same thing. Just feel more comfortable.
How were those sort of interviews? Like, did you find them to be stressful? I guess you had to do them every couple of months.
Yeah, so we had to do it every quarter.
Yeah.
I guess the good thing is that at that stage of the company, we weren't profitable, and a lot of people knew that. They were just more focused on, what are we doing to advance the company forward. So it was less about the financials, and more about what's the company doing and where we're headed.
Oh, okay. The story.
The story, the plan,
Yeah.
and are we executing on all these things?
I know for bigger public companies, every word and number gets honed like by like 5 different people before it can even be looked at by the CFO.
Yes. So I think once we uplisted to the TSX, that's when it started getting more real. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that process seems very stressful. Just
yes.
Like, say this, don't say that. Use this word, don't use that.
I was still sweating, but not as much.
But I guess I don't know how like bigger public company CFOs do it. I guess it's just through experience.
I think they're just used to it.
They're just used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just used to it. Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine like going on camera and then, because we're just talking natural conversation, but
Yeah.
going on camera and then having to say certain numbers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, what if you say the wrong number? Or like, what if you say something wrong? Like,
It
that's
is
really stressful.
Yes. Yeah. That stress of having people able to pick apart what you say word by word,
Yes.
number by number.
Yes.
That can weigh on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also can control the edit, so it's okay.
That's true. On an earnings call, it's just
Yes.
there is no edits.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I've kind of gotten more natural edit time now. It was
That's
definitely
great.
much more awkward when we first started doing it. And
Yeah.
Kevin hated doing it. He's like, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah. But good for you for doing it. And now, you have the studio and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a different journey.
Having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a stressful few years. In the
Yeah.
first couple of years, not really knowing what I was doing, not really having a ton of support
Yeah.
from people. Remember thinking to myself, like, I had to go down quite a few rabbit holes. First, I sold fitness services. Yes, which is very
wow.
different than what I'm doing now. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's like B2C,
Okay.
which is like really interesting.
Yeah.
B2C services. And then I dabbled in marketing agencies for a while. I had to learn marketing from some 22-year-old marketing bros that were selling courses, that
Right.
masterminds. And
Yeah.
I was like learning business from, learning from business. So, some of them are actually really smart people and
Yeah.
they've done well in their own right. And I've kind of been exposed to some things in the online world that are legitimate.
Right. Yeah.
And it's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. Kind of
Nice.
the world changing now with social media and just what you can do with that. It just creates new opportunities for people if that's what they want to do for themselves.
Yeah.
But I remember going like those past couple of years when I'd be like just on my own like entrepreneurial journey away from accounting and finance.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh man, like I can't wait to like go back one day and like tell somebody all of these things that I've done, like all of these rabbit holes that I've had to go through. And like, it's just so funny that we're talking now. And
well, now
I've met some weird people in the past few years.
but that's what make life interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very different from like the regular accounting people that I used to deal with. That just it was a very predictable conversations.
Yeah.
Predictable day to day, predictable responses.
Right.
Predictable reactions. And then you go out on your own, then you have to deal with things like customer refunds, customer complaints, like random comments on social media. And then now it's like my whole family can see what I'm doing on social media. It's like that was a bit of a process for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
What does your family think about your social media things?
I don't know. When you talk about money, it's like it's almost more logical.
Right.
People are like, oh yeah, I got to save money. I got to invest money. That makes sense. I'll listen.
Yeah. If you had to give me one, I'm gonna ask for some free advice. If you were to give me some one tip of personal finance advice, what would
Personal
that be?
finance advice. I don't know. That's a big question.
Or how about for kids? Like,
kids?
what's a good personal finance advice for kids these days?
My mom always told me that it's not about how much you make; it's about how much you keep. And I think she's like, you can make $10 and spend $11.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a big thing. It's just not spending everything that you have and just learning how to work with what you have. And if you can kind of build that discipline, the more you make, you know what I mean? That stays with you.
Yep.
Right. Because you can make $1 million and spend $1 million.
Yep.
And people do that.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's more about that.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest tip that I would tell my son. Is that it's about what you keep. That's a discipline. That's not.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree with this, but like it's not the economy. Yes, to a certain extent, it's not the economy. It's not external things. It's not your job. It's not your boss. It's not your.
Yeah.
It's a discipline to keep.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's always, like you said, there's always trade-offs, right?
There's always trade-offs.
And if you build that discipline of financial responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
And control what you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first job was at McDonald's.
Nice.
I made $6 an hour. Yeah. This is back when I was 14 and I saved half of what I made.
Nice.
It's still up to this day I do that.
My first job was selling women's shoes at a department store.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of women's shoes?
There used to be a department store called Woodward's here, similar to like the Bay.
Uh-huh.
They closed down a long time ago, But yeah, I got a job there, and there's different departments, and I got into women's shoes, and it was like whatever shoes that they had available, whether it's boots, heels, sneakers. Yeah, it was interesting.
Interesting. When you were a teenager?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
same.
Yes. But yeah, it was fun. Like, again, like sales and customer service. I think that's where I learned things from.
Yeah, that's a big part of going on your like business and entrepreneurship in general. I would say like I like business much more than accounting. Accounting is like accounting.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in like business, like all types of business.
Yep.
And then in the longer term, like value creation. That's where I see myself going.
Nice.
So I know AI is like this huge topic.
Yeah.
I like pretty much anyone who comes onto my podcast, I think I'm going to have a conversation about AI just because it's changing so much every 3, 6, 9 months. Like if you think about like even ChatGPT 6 months ago, I didn't really like the output.
Yeah.
But even today now, like I was like, oh, it's getting smarter.
Yep.
Like, whoa, it's got written a more sophisticated thing back. It's a little better now. And so I think everyone kind of sees, on a day-to-day basis can see, even my grandma uses ChatGPT now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's almost 90, and my mom was like, "Can you help grandma like download ChatGPT on her phone because she wants to learn how to use it."
How does she use it? I'm curious.
I think she just asks it questions like in Chinese.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she's like always on WeChat.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's more for companionship?
I don't know. Her and my grandpa, they're like research. They do like they look stuff online, recipes. Like they talk to their friends from China with WeChat. So they're still pretty like surprised.
Yeah,
they understand computers and phones and stuff like that. But she wants ChatGPT for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why she's using it. But
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure kids too. I don't know what it's like in elementary schools now, like universities.
I mean, for me, like AI, yes, there's pros and cons to everything, and I keep on saying that when people ask me about AI, and maybe it's the Libra in me, I see like both sides of things. AI can be an enabler for a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, it's still just a tool. Like we have to realize, what are we trying to do, and is AI the best tool for that? Because sometimes it's not. Like you can't use a hammer for everything. Maybe you just need just take off your shoe and just hammer in something.
I'm assuming that you get pitched a lot of AI tools on a regular basis for finance.
Yeah. And
there's so many now. I started at the beginning. I was like kind of more like, oh, this company's doing this company's doing this. But now you go online and there's just so many of them.
Yeah, there's so many,
and some of them have niched down into certain areas, right? Like there will be So it's not even an all-in-one AI finance tool anymore.
Yeah, it's just not like AI for accounting.
Yeah,
it's like AI for procure to pay, and then it's AI for the PO function, or AIs for like contract negotiations. So you're really seeing, like you said, like niche down. And when you see a lot of players in there, no one has it figured out yet.
Right.
Everyone's still just trying to try different things and see what works and what doesn't work. But I think that AI is an enabler for a lot of different things. But at the same time, what are the negative impacts on AI? You read about people misusing it for various reasons. But there's also the environmental and climate impact of that, as you need more energy to fuel data centers that need more land and need more energy. What is that doing to our world? Yeah, so there's just a lot of different things that you have to think about when you think about like AI in these two letters. It really means like a lot of different things.
It does.
Yeah.
There's impacts to people, companies.
Yeah, and
the economy.
And there's the AI evangelists, and you look at, okay, who are really the AI evangelists? Mainly, you hear it's the people in the technology space, and people that are funding these technology companies,
right? Yeah.
So there's those type of incentives,
right? I see.
And then who are the people that are saying the AI doomsayers? I don't know. There's like a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Right. So, so when you take a look at these arguments, you really have to take a look behind that. It's like, okay, who are these people, and what is their purpose of it? Is it for money? Is it for like their own ulterior motives, whatever that is? But for me, it's kind of somewhere in between.
In between, yeah.
Yeah. If AI is supposed to promise that it can take jobs away, or it can help with someone's job to make their job easier or whatnot, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, in accounting and finance, you still need a basic, and we talked about this previously, like you still need a fundamental understanding
Oh, for sure.
of accounting and finance to be able to prompt the AI to know what you're actually doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how do
Yeah.
you know how to tell what an AI to do if you don't even understand
Yeah.
the fundamentals of, like, I don't know, a balance sheet, income statement, whatever it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, for
really
sure.
the model. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you really need to still understand the foundational elements of what good accounting and finance looks like.
Yes.
Or what a good business looks like.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's accounting, finance, or whatnot.
Yes.
And it really starts about the process. What is the process that you're trying to build to solve a problem? And if you understand that, then you look at, okay, what are the best tools to be able to do that? Is it AI? Is it a SaaS product? Is it whatever that is? Then you look at, okay, do I have the right people to take advantage of these things? Yeah.
When you get pitched a demo by a company, what are some, I don't know if there's any founders that that watch this, like, or interested in starting an AI startup, like what are some things that are like good and bad when you get pitched a demo? What would make you instantly be like, this is a waste of time?
If they use a lot of jargon, if they just throw AI into things without really understanding what is
just made this thing that's AI.
Yeah, what is that thing actually doing, and how does it go about doing it?
Okay.
If they can explain that, that's compelling. If they can't, then it's kind of like,
what did you put together, right?
Yeah, what did you put together? Did you just put together like a wrapper, like a GPT wrapper?
Yes.
Or is it, or are you actually building something that can take advantage of the data that I have, make sense of it, and then do what I need it to do?
For yourself, would you want to see a working demo before
For
making
sure.
any sort of commitment?
For sure.
'Cause I know some founders are like, well, we want commitment before we go like build the thing. Because
Oh yeah, I would need to see at least if they've built something else. I'd have to see what did they build and how did they go about doing that. Yeah, it can't be just a pitch deck.
Yeah, okay. I know some founders that are like, oh, well, it costs us money to build the thing, so why don't we just see if anyone will buy it first?
Yeah,
there's kind of that
there's
chicken or the egg dilemma, because
but
it's expensive to, it is expensive.
It is, but then you think about if AI is if it's supposed to be easy to build something, whether you use Lovable or whatnot, like that shouldn't be an excuse. And if they say that they need money to build something, then they're just lazy. Going back to my comment around, a great time to be a fractional CFO, you have all these tools, AI or non-AI, that you can build something.
I guess CFOs are now kind of focused on like, what is the AI tech stack? Like, what tools do we want to bring into the company, and how can we optimize each area of the finance department?
Exactly. And there's like a lot of amazing finance tools out there that are like AI native, whether it's Rillet as an ERP or Campfire as an
I've heard
ERP.
of Campfire,
Yeah. And there's, if you talk about like very vertical specific things, like for revenue, there's a company called Tabs that automates that whole thing using AI. Like there's like amazing companies
a lot of
out there.
different little pieces.
Yeah, there's a lot of different pieces out there.
Okay.
So you can look at all-in-one solutions, or if you have like a legacy solution like NetSuite and you don't want to rip it apart because it's just too much work, you have all these other ones that you can sort of plug into it. That you treat your NetSuite as just the data center, and you use all these other tools to augment the weaknesses that you see in that ERP.
For a business owner, if a business were to ask you, would that be able to help them save on labor costs? Like if they were to use AI and
I think to some,
cut down on some.
To some degree. But it really depends on like, what do you mean by like how would, again, like studying what is the process? What are you trying to do? And what kind of company are you in? And more importantly, what do you expect out of your accounting and finance?
Right.
Is it just reports? Is it, do you really want to find opportunities to save money?
Yeah.
Like there's all these different things.
Yeah, I guess people have different opinions as well.
For me, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about what would it look like if I had a one-person accounting team for a company that is generating $50 million a year or $30 million a year.
Like an AI CFO?
A human CFO.
Like a human CFO with a full
AI thing. Yeah, what would that look like? I don't know.
Managing a lot of different tools.
Yeah, that means that means I would have to manage all these tools, or I would have to build an agent that manages these tools that I have to. It always comes down to managing. You're managing something. Tools. Yeah, you're managing something.
Yeah, managing people or you're managing tools.
Yes. And for me, I'd much rather interact with people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's different when you have a person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're currently the CFO of Booth.
Yes.
Partners. What is it called?
Yes.
Sorry, what's the official name?
So they were called Booth and Partners.
Booth and Partners.
And we recently did a rebrand exercise. We are now Booth.
Okay.
And yeah, we are a talent outsourcing company. The founders, Jamie and Carmen, they've been building this company for the past 12 years. And I got connected with them through Antonio. Mm-hmm. And what they're trying to do is that they're just trying to build a company that helps other companies scale their talent teams through talent outsourcing. Right now, we have about 1,500 employees. The majority of them are in the Philippines because that's where Jamie and Carmen started the company. 3 years ago, we expanded into Colombia, so we have a team of about 110 people there now. And we're looking to expand globally because I think especially with COVID, when you're talking about building teams, you can build remote teams anywhere in the world. And even if you look at in Vancouver here, whether someone is in Vancouver, the city, or they live out in Chilliwack or Hope, they're still a remote team.
Yep.
And so what does it matter if someone is in Hope or located in the Philippines? If they have a similar skill set, they can still do the work, but at definitely a lower cost just because of the labor arbitrage and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit more about the labor arbitrage. Like what specifically, like how much can people expect to save?
So I would say right now, if you were to compare a financial controller as an example, because we're talking about accounting finance. So a financial controller in Canada would probably earn about $150,000 a year Canadian. They would probably have 8 to 10 years experience and can do like multi-subsidiary, multi-currency consolidation. Mm-hmm. Sort of headlines there. For someone in the Philippines with an equivalent experience and can do the exact same things, you're probably looking at paying somebody $60,000 a year Canadian. Mm-hmm. So a very big difference. Mm-hmm. And the skill set's very similar. Mm-hmm. English is not a problem because I think out of all the Asian countries, Philippines probably has like one of the highest English proficiencies in all these countries there. Mm-hmm. And why would it makes a very compelling reason why you would not want to hire someone remotely. For sure. Given the cost savings and those type of parameters.
Right. If a business owner or a founder were concerned about quality, what would you say around that?
So I would say with quality, it goes back to managing people.
Right.
Right. It depends on how you manage people. Whether you manage someone that lives in Hope or in Kelowna, or you manage someone from the Philippines. It's just, are you onboarding them properly? Are you setting the right expectations? When you're going through your recruitment, are you doing the right things to assess for skills? And also, how are you developing those people? So it's taking like just good team building habits, no matter if you are in person, if you are in the next city, or half a world away.
I'm going to give you another sales objection.
Okay, got it.
What about the stigma? Like if you run a service-based business, I'm an accounting firm owner. Yeah. I outsource part of my team to the Philippines. Yeah. What if my clients found out and they didn't like it?
So I would say two things to that. One is Yes, there is probably a generalization that when you outsource talent, you're outsourcing low cost, cheap, low standard clients.
Like, when I ran the marketing agency, like I know, like there are people that the first thing they ask is like,
Yeah.
do you guys use offshore people?
Yeah.
Right. And so
yes,
people do get concerned.
I totally get that objection. But I would say that, you just have to, it's more around education and actually, humanizing people for who they are instead of looking at sweeping generalizations. Like I never heard about talent outsourcing before I met Jamie and Carmen.
Yeah.
And when I think about talent outsourcing, I think of a business process outsourcing.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, I think about, people that are working in like small confined spaces with like a bunch of monitors and a headset, and they're just like banging away on the keyboard.
That's not necessarily true.
That's not the case, but I think it's just, historically, generally, that's what people might think.
Yeah.
So going back to your objection about what if a client finds out, as a business owner, for me, like I would be, if I had a great outsourcing team, I would be proud as hell of that team. And I would tell my clients that, this is my team. I have a team in the city that does this, and I have an outsourced team based in the Philippines that does that. And together as a company, we've built it to this and deserves and can produce this kind of quality. So it really depends how you talk about it. If the business owner doesn't have trust in their outsourcing team, of course that's going to show in how they talk about their team. And when I think more importantly as a business owner, if you're talking about outsourcing team, you need to look at it as a team, as a global team.
Yes.
Not as local team and outsourced team. You're like a global team. And how do you bring that team together?
Yep.
I think that's the mindset shift that companies have to think about.
I use a lot of overseas talent to help
Yeah.
me with my YouTube content and all
Yeah.
that stuff because there's just a lot of people that are really talented.
It is.
That can do really, really good work.
It is, and again, as a finance person or as a business owner, you want to look at what can give you quality, speed, and cost.
Yep.
And if you're looking at cost, I would say you should at least consider what does talent outsourcing look like.
Yep, for sure.
If you can get quality, if you can get speed, if you can get cost, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, just the savings alone.
Yeah, just the savings alone.
It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah,
it's almost like a bit of a no-brainer, actually. If you
it
tell
is.
people that
It
you
is.
can
But like from some sales calls that I've had with people, and I've been a part of sales calls at Booth. One of the objections is distance.
Oh, distance. The time zone distance?
Time zone distance, but also people are more comfortable if they're all in office.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And I get that. You can't get around that.
Yeah.
Right. But it's kind of unfortunate because you're missing out on a few few billion people outside of your city that is available for you to do work, do amazing work.
Yeah.
That you're just kind of cutting them out.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think is that, because I've worked with outsourced teams for previous companies in the past, the time zone difference could be a good thing too. Because when we did it, like with ERP implementations, all the development teams were offshore.
Yeah.
So we as a finance team would just we would review the work during the day and then just give at nighttime, give the, the feedback or the changes or whatever needs to be done before the end of day so that they would work on it during their daytime. It's almost like you end up working 24, when your team is actually working 24/7 around the clock.
Yes. Soon after I started at Booth, I met up with some old colleagues at Numinus, and we were talking about the year-end audits that we would go through, and think about the auditors, like our poor auditors. They'd be working late into the night trying to get the audit done. And I thought, well, if audit firms can build like a 24/7 operation with outsourced talent, with outsourced teams, again, why wouldn't you consider that? That would put less stress on your local team. And again, you can have 24/7 operations. Yeah. And you can probably close the audit quicker. Anyways, when you mentioned 24/7 operations, like
I would find that to be very attractive. As a
you
business
don't
owner,
have to be a big business owner. You can be a small firm.
Yeah.
With maybe 2 people here and a team of 3 or 4 over there, and you're just getting the work done.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like as a business owner, if somebody kind of pitched that to me in that angle, I'd be like, 24/7 operations.
I mean, if I knew about it back in my Numinus days, like I would have outsourced like quite a few roles, whether it's in finance or in any other department.
And I'm really glad we had this conversation, because there's just been so many things that like I haven't, been able to talk about.
Yeah.
It takes a certain person to like understand the things that I've personally gone through the past few years.
Yeah. What are some things you've been struggling with?
Just going out on my own and all the things that I've had to learn, like the sales and the marketing side of things, like just that it was a necessary part of my path to learn the content, to learn the sales and marketing, because I think that that's going to just add a lot of value to what I do in the future. Because you're like, how many accountants know how to do sales? How many accountants know how to do marketing? How many know how to put themselves out there? But because I can do these things, like I don't want to say like skip or expedite me to my long-term goals.
Yeah. I talked about like ideal client. Who would be your ideal audience?
For my kind of like my the new firm that I'm launching? Yeah. I guess there's 2 sides to it. There's the kind of like personal side, where we help individuals with their investment strategies, tax planning strategies, similar to what a financial advisor or financial planner would do. And then there's the corporate side, which is like kind of like the fractional CFO sort of work.
Yeah. So for the personal side, are you targeting people in like a certain wealth bracket?
Millennial professionals.
Okay,
that are just looking to be better with money. That's my general target on YouTube as well. I don't know, maybe it's because we have a finance background. Sometimes the things I say, I feel like are very intuitive to me when I explain like investments and stocks. It's like just this, and this. But I guess if somebody doesn't have a finance background, they might just not know some of these things. Similar to how if I was talking to like someone from an engineering background and they were explaining engineering to me, I wouldn't know what they're talking about either. So
where should a millennial put their money in?
There's a side of me where it's like, go start your business, go do your own thing.
Okay.
Go be an entrepreneur. Go figure. But I understand that path isn't for everyone. I know that, right?
Right. Yeah.
It depends on your goals and what you want in life. Putting your money in the market is never a bad idea. You get market returns. A lot of people build wealth by doing that as well.
Right. So don't day trade.
Yeah. Not a fan of day trading.
Yeah, I think that's more of a gambling thing than anything else.
Yeah, I'm more of a long-term investor.
Yeah. What's a good stock?
That's a loaded question.
This doesn't constitute investment advice.
No.
What industry do you feel would be a good industry to consider?
AI stocks. Tech stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, tech is always booming.
Yeah. Do you think there is an AI bubble?
When it comes to stocks? Oh, I'm a little scared to answer these questions. Do you think there's an AI bubble when it comes to stocks?
I think so.
Yeah.
When you're talking about companies that are raising billions of dollars on hundreds of billions in valuation, how do you justify? And they're not making money. How do you justify that?
It's kind of like the .com bubble.
Yeah.
That was back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Like, how do you justify that? Now, people can say, well, Amazon didn't make money when they were in the beginning, or Facebook didn't make money in the beginning, and then they figured it out.
I would recommend people just buy ETFs.
Yeah.
Safe stuff. ETFs.
Yeah. But I mean, it's compelling. It's the it thing. Like I invested in some AI stocks. So yeah, like it's worth taking a bet, but you wouldn't want to put all your money in.
Oh no, definitely not.
In that.
Definitely not. There's kind of like, but I kind of have to be careful of the type of like investing advice that I give. I try to just be like, buy safe stuff.
Yeah, it's just like several years ago with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, some people went all in and they made and lost and made again, like great money. Instead of just looking at the financials, you have to look at like the product itself. Like, do you really believe in the product? Or are you in it just for the money? If you're in it just for the money, trying to time the market and all that, that's just
No, that's not really like the accounting way of doing things anyways. Like,
Yeah.
there are day traders and stuff like the traders and people kind of who specialize in that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I mostly just, it's funny, I'm much more comfortable talking about business stuff.
yeah.
But when it comes to personal finance stuff, I have to think really carefully about like what I say.
Yeah.
Got to comb through every word and make sure like it can be said, because there's liability.
That's true. That's true. It doesn't prevent you from having a point of view. I'm sure people have questions like, yeah, what do you think about investing in AI and so forth? Well, I mean, like you said, it depends what your risk profile is, and if you have enough money set aside for risky stocks, then you buy that. But everything else, you kind of just let it accumulate over time. Have you heard of Scott Galloway?
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so Scott Galloway is a I don't know how would you describe him? He's like he's an entrepreneur, investor, business owner. He has like a lot of different podcasts and stuff and so forth. And one of the things he said, I think he said, was, I can tell you how to get rich, but it means that you get rich slowly. Something like that, which means that there's no quick rich.
There's no quick rich.
Yeah, it's over time.
Yeah, it is over time.
And
I believe that.
Yeah, sure. And going back to your comment about discipline, there's cost discipline, but there's savings discipline as well, investment discipline.
Investment discipline for sure.
And just
that's hard to. Sometimes it's hard to convince people that they
it
need
is.
to be disciplined when it comes to investing.
You just contribute enough over time, and you just sort of let it accumulate.
It's boring, but it actually makes. That's how a lot of people make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I worked in wealth management, that was pretty much what everyone that was rich actually did. They just bought safe stuff.
Yeah.
And accumulated over time. And they were all just business owners who put money into the markets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like, people talk about boring businesses these days.
Yeah. Laundromats.
Yeah. I don't know about laundromats. I don't know who it was, but yeah, I've heard people talk about like laundromats or things like that. I don't know about the laundromat business, so I'm not going to comment on that.
The only one we've looked into is accounting firms, because we've actually considered.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I've talked to some people, it's like around 1x EBITDA.
Okay. Yeah.
But then if you make some improvements,
Yeah.
do a tech play, it can go up to 2.
Right.
So accounting firms are pretty popular buy right now, because it doesn't require you to. It's hard. It's not that easy to sign accounting firm clients, but they stay for a long time.
Right.
The churn is low. So
Right.
that makes it attractive for a lot of PE firms and other people who want to. And then plus like a lot of, I guess, boomers, they're looking to retire and sell their lists and their firms.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we talked about that, but then we're like, do we really want to sit down and run an accounting firm?
Right.
That's always the...
Right. Well, I mean, for the people that talk about buying small businesses, is like you buy them and then you hire someone to run it while you make the improvements on whatever you need to improve.
Right.
And then so that general manager or partner, whoever it is, that person will run the firm, and then you're just sort of making sure that things run smoothly, and then you go on and then you buy your other business.
Would that actually happen in reality? Just knowing the way that businesses work? Like, would I really be able to buy a business and then just be like, oh, hire a general operator and I'll make my return? Like,
there are people that do it. Yeah, there are people that do it. I think you just have to have the capital, but also you have to have the know-how on how to identify a good business or not. And then what do you need to do to make improvements on that business in order for it to be successful? Just like every influencer out there, it makes it easy. Like people say it's easier, but it's not. It all goes back to, what type of person are you? Like, are you the person that loves to juggle 4 or 5 different businesses? I know someone that
it's really hard to focus when you're juggling that many
I know
businesses.
someone that's juggling 9 or 10 businesses.
You're not really
of different sizes
doing the day-to-day then at that point. You're just
they're not doing the day-to-day, but
yeah.
they're sort of just keeping tabs on things. And
it sounds very attractive for social media to be like, I own these 9 businesses. Other people run them.
Yeah. But then you think about, okay, I'm overseeing 9 businesses. That means I'm overseeing, I don't know how many people they have, like, as employees. So you have this big responsibility. right? It's not just fun and games.
No.
It's people's livelihoods
Yeah.
that you're handling.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a shitty job, then you're putting people out of work.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So always go back to the human side of business.
I like that.
Yeah.
So where can people find more about you if they want to learn more?
I think the best way is just through LinkedIn, or they can look at our website, hirebooth.com. So both those you can find.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks.
It was lovely talking to you, lovely
Thanks,
picking your
Alice.
brain
Thanks.
and learning more about just the way you think.